Well, here we go again. Here we go again. This was a cold day, and I didn't want to wear my gi top. It was no gi anyway. So maybe that had something to do with it. Collar tie, single leg takedown. I stood and dumped him. I wanted to try to get around his legs in the takedown during the takedown, but this guy was good. He was a purple belt at this time too. I'm a little bit bigger than him, a lot bigger. But he was good. Guard passing, guard passing. Very nice. Looks like a 10th planet guy. He's got very good jiu-jitsu, no doubt. And I'm not doing a whole lot with him right now. I'm thinking about attacking an arm. I'm always either thinking about attacking an arm, trapping an arm, or going to north-south. What can I say? At some point, you become very, what was that? That was a wild little back and forth. He knew that I wanted to pull his arm up into basically an L. And he wasn't going to let that happen. But I was saying at some point you just get comfortable with like a handful of techniques. And that's what you go to the most. You'll do better if those techniques are the fundamental techniques. But either way, if you're just rolling, you'll do fine. There's a little box in the way when I'm trying to see what's going on here. But as far as I can tell, I'm just being a jerk here. What am I? I'm trying to put this arm lock. I'm being very heavy. What's the deal, Jiu-Jitsu robot? Sheesh. Talk about using your weight. By the way, that guy back there, it looks like just some dude is like a Division I wrestler or something like that. A very good wrestler, and he had smashed a couple of us pretty good. He didn't tap anybody, but he sure the heck smashed them. The first thing I immediately noticed was that when my guard popped open, that wrestler threw my legs off with such intensity that I felt like my legs they like went numb. They hit the ground, they hit the mat so hard. Really thinking about a triangle, whoop, and I knew that he was going to be too savvy for that, so I went right into the omoplata. These wiry individuals, they're the ones that are going to flip and their legs come in from like every possible position in the world. It's crazy. We are back in this wrestling scenario. And we end up in this like very judo-esque, one high, one low right here. But I always want to use this sweep. I would say it's off of that failed technique. But I want the sweep, and it at this point clearly was failing for me. But I did do it enough that I would use that little inside trip and then intentionally sit or allow the technique or just let it play out to failure and use it to sweep. So I would say about half the time I would use it to get the fight to the ground and half the time to sweep. You see some of these basic techniques, he's too wise to. By the way, if I'm not wearing a gi, as you should, my body knows nothing else other than to treat the scenario as if there are punches possible. So all that you see here from me is punch safety, and any movement that happens is in that box of punch safety. It's not because it's necessarily intentional, it's just the reflex that I built up. Is that so wrong? Is that so wrong? I don't know. I know that there are different techniques that you can use to exploit certain opportunities when the person uses the punch safety system. So check this out. Bam. Look at that. So he wound up in a mess here.
Lay down on it. Lay down right.
But I told him to lay down on that bent arm. Yeah, he's gonna be on his back, but at least he can survive another second. Let me continue. And at some point here, I'm gonna use the strings on my hoodie to choke him to death. And he dies. Look, here it is. No. Can anybody see what's gonna happen here? Anybody? Any fans of the mounted triangle out there? Boom, boom. Yeah, here was my failure at this time in my purple belt journey. I should have put my head on the floor. I should have just leaned all the way to the mat, put my head on the floor. It's very easy to lock up that mounted triangle. Instead, I went to the arm lock. But you should be able to finish the technique if you get there. I believe right here he told me it's been a while since I've been triangle choked. But as I told him right there, sometimes I get lucky. And that's true. That's all that happens when you train Jiu-Jitsu again and again and again for years, is that you become more familiar with these positions and you're getting luckier and luckier every single time. Now I know that it's based on your the accrued reflexes that you've gathered over time, but another way to put it is you're just getting more lucky every time. So hopefully this one nobody got slapped, nobody got any kind of a rude behavior, non-sport behavior that riled up some feathers, huh? Anyway, well, I did choke him with the strings. Does that count?